Hello everyone, my name is Saili Kadam. In our previous video, we discussed bagging, which is an ensemble technique. In this video, we will be again talking about another ensemble technique, that is boosting. In the last video itself, I made it clear that bagging and boosting are two types of ensemble techniques. So what are ensemble techniques? When we combine different models to similar models, when we combine and then train them, and then we come out with a result. So basically, why do we use ensemble techniques? So the reason is to improve the accuracy of the model. So today we will be talking about boosting, which is another type of ensemble technique. So let us begin. So basically, we know that all these ensemble techniques, very common ensemble techniques, are bagging and boosting. So both of them are going to combine different models, and then they are going to train every model, and then at the end they are going to come up with a conclusion. But what exactly is the difference in between bagging and boosting? So in bagging, I said that models are trained independently. I have 5 different models. Each one of them will get its own training data, its own testing data, and it will start learning and making predictions. Their observations or their results do not depend on any other model. So 5 of them will work independently, will work parallelly. Whereas in boosting, they work sequentially. So first, let us say if I have 5 decision trees, or any 5 models which I am combining. So how it will exactly work is, first, the first model will make predictions. It will train and make predictions, the first model. Then whatsoever will be the errors, or what will be the accuracy, or what will be specifically the errors of the first model, that will be the focus of our second model. Then whatever the error is made by second model, that will be corrected, or the third model will try to correct the error of the previous model. So they are dependent on each other. So it is sequential, one after the other. If we have 10 models, we will sequentially begin. First model will complete, then second model will try to correct the errors made by the first model. In bagging, we have 2 different models training simultaneously or parallelly. They are not dependent on each other. That is why bagging is much faster as compared to boosting, because in bagging, once we all of them will work differently. Nobody is dependent on anyone. In the model, or the results of first model are not dependent on any other model. The results of last model are not dependent on second last model or something. Everybody works independently, and each and every model, they will give us a different prediction, and at the end we will combine. Whereas in boosting, first, so the main difference is there, in bagging, we train the models parallelly. They are not dependent. Whereas in boosting, we train the models sequentially. The results of a model depends on the previous model. The current model focuses on the errors made by the previous models. This is the only difference in between bagging and boosting. So let's go to the advantages of boosting. So the first advantage is high prediction accuracy. And again, very important difference in between bagging and boosting is, bagging tries to reduces biases, whereas bagging tries to reduce variance, whereas boosting tries to reduce biases. This is the difference in between bagging and boosting. So here we reduce biases. That means when we have a very simple model, boosting tries to remove that simplicity, or tries to overcome underfitting, and bagging tries to overcome or tries to reduce overfitting. That is again a difference in between bagging and boosting. So boosting can also handle complex relationships, and improves sequentially. So in bagging, what happens is all the models, they run parallelly, or they perform training parallelly. So what happens is, it may happen that the mistakes made by the first model, or two different models, slightly they are making same mistakes, or same errors are made by different models, whereas in boosting that do not happen, because one model focuses on the uh, previous model's error. So at every step, or as the number of models increases, they go towards accuracy, or accuracy is increased at every step or at every model. So these are advantages of bagging. Then the disadvantages are, it can cause overfitting. While reducing, we are trying to reduce the simplicity or the model. So it may happen that while reducing the simplicity, or while trying to reduce underfitting, we can cause overfitting. That is the disadvantage of boosting. And it trains sequentially, so it is time consuming. In last video also I have mentioned that bagging is faster as compared to boosting. So this is the reason, because we train the model sequentially. So while training them sequentially, what happens is, it becomes slow. Boosting, it is slow, because, so let us say we have 5 models, each model takes 5 minutes. So if it is bagging, all the models will start training at the same time, and they are not dependent. So at the same time, let us say now we are starting, and each model takes 5 minutes. So after, at the end of 5 minutes, what will happen, we will have our results in just 5 minutes, because all the models are running in parallel. Whereas in boosting, what will happen, first one model takes 5 minutes, let us say. Generally they don't, but let us say, if they are taking 5 minutes, so first model will take 5 minutes, then it will make some errors, it will have its own predictions, then the second model will start running, then again it will take 5 minutes. So if we have 5 models, that means it will take around 25 minutes to come up with the result. So that is why it is expensive computationally as well, and it is time consuming. Then it is sensitive to noisy data and outliers. So outliers can also, so it may happen that one model, due to outliers, it gives some predictions, and then second model is again focusing on the errors of the first model. So when there are outliers present in the data, at that time we can say that boosting gets affected, or this we can consider as a disadvantage of the boosting. So this was all about boosting. This is Ensemble technique. They are nothing but we combine different models. That is boosting. So again, bagging does the same thing. Only approaches are different. So let us understand the difference in between bagging and boosting. So first one, the very important difference in between bagging and boosting is, in bagging we train the models parallelly, whereas in boosting the models are trained sequentially. This is a very important difference in between bagging and boosting. Then here, we, as I said, in bagging all the models has its own training data and testing data. So we have discussed this in random forest as well, that, or in decision tree as well, that how do we select the data. We randomly select, let us say we have 10 data points in our data set, so 7 of them will be for training, or 8 of them will be for training, and 2 of them will be for testing. So we randomly select the data for different models, that too with replacement can occur. So this is how data sampling takes place here. Whereas here we have the main focus. So basically in boosting we don't have such, every model won't get different data samples. In bagging we have that all the models get some training data, get some testing data, whereas in boosting we don't have such thing. In boosting, first model will only get the training and testing set, whereas from second model it will start focusing on the errors of the previous model. So as such, we don't have any data sampling in boosting. Then the main objective of bagging is to reduce the variance. Variance is overfitting. So we try to reduce the overfitting. We try to help, or we try to prevent overfitting in bagging. That is complexity. We try to reduce the complexity. Whereas in boosting, what do? We try to reduce the biases so that we improve the accuracy, or we are trying to reduce the underfitting here. The main aim of both of them is to improve, but boosting can give us better accuracy because the errors caused will be minimal. So I would say that accuracy, the main focus of accuracy, or if we really want our model to perform accurately, then we should prefer boosting. Then each model is independent. In bagging, all the models are independent. The results of different models are independent. They are not dependent because they are running in parallel. Whereas in boosting, the models are dependent. Each model is dependent on a different model. So this is also a difference in between them. And then at the end we have final prediction. So we have different models. We will have, if we have 5 different models, then that means we will have 5 different answers or 5 different predictions. So if it is a classification problem, we will simply perform voting, and when it is a regression problem, we will go for averaging. So this is how in bagging, simply like all the supervised learning algorithms, I would say they do the same thing, voting for classification and averaging for regression. Whereas in boosting, we will only get one answer, and the answer of the final model will be considered, because that is basically the weighted average of all the models. First model will give some predictions. Based upon that prediction, second model will perform. So we won't get 5 different. When we have 5 models, bagging will give us 5 different outputs, and then we will combine them and we will come up with one decision or one result. Whereas in boosting, we will simply get one value, because we will only consider what is said by, or what is done by the previous one, or what are the errors made by our previous model. We will only continue them further, so at the end we will get some averaged value only. So this is the difference in between bagging and boosting. Further, boosting has some types. The first one is gradient boosting, XGBoost and AdaBoost. These are different types of boosting. Bagging as such don't have any further types, whereas boosting have some types, and we will be covering all this in our coming videos. So next video will be about types of boosting. Generally they are gradient boosting, XGBoost and AdaBoost. So in our next video we will be discussing about all this 3 types of boosting techniques. So that's all for this video. In next video we will be talking about further concepts. So thank you.